Hello, welcome to Cornwall. My name's Andy Paramore, this is Andy's Cornish Creations, and in this video I'm going to be trying to do a vase with a leaf design, and the idea is that I'm going to be doing something similar to this. I'm not going to be copying it, it's going to be different leaves and a different shaped vase, but that's the sort of general idea. So I'm going to pyrograph the leaves onto the outside of the vase, and then I'm going to do little cutouts just around the top, just to give it a bit of a different look, and hopefully it'll all turn out. It's a bit off, a bit different, but hopefully it'll make a nice change. Right, so we'll get onto the lathe and get cracking. I've got the piece of timber between centres. I'm going to turn it to round. I'm not quite sure what timber it is. It's either a piece of sycamore or a piece of Leylandii. They're the only big chunks of, oh there's ivy. They're the only big chunks of timber that I'd got in the workshop. So it's one or the other. I think it's probably the sycamore. But I'm turning it to round. And then shaping it to the shape I want. I wasn't sure about this piece. I didn't really like it, but in the end it turned out to be a really nice piece of timber with some nice figure in it. And it was almost a shame to stick leaves on the outside and colour it, but it still worked out nice. So I'm speeding through this process because it's more about the putting the leaves and the design on the outside than it is about turning the bowl. And I think I missed out all the hollowing out, apart from a bit of boring with the Forstner bits. But actually I'd started this bowl, or this vase rather. I started this vase and it wasn't really happy with it. I finished up chucking it in my box of maybe I'll do something with it one day box, and I was gonna have a go with another. The bowl is sanded up to 400 grit now, and I'm going to put the little sycamore leaves on and draw around them. and create a design on the outside of the bowl, ready for the pyrography. I'm using two different sized leaves, and keep switching them around a little bit and changing the angles just to make it look as though they're not all uniform. That's the design, all finished. Now I'm going to use the Peter Child Pyrography kit, and I'm going to go around the outlines and do the veins of the leaves with the burning before I colour them in. Quite a slow job, but just keep going around till it's all done. I started trying to use the spirit stain to colour the leaves, but it didn't really work. It wasn't blending, and I couldn't water it down or merge the colours together. So I switched over to acrylic paints, watered down, and that worked much better. And I try to keep the colours sort of autumnal colours, keep it nice and warm looking. Here I've got the acrylic paints, and it was working much better. So adding the background, filling all the leaf in, and then putting a...
High five!
That was my wife. Putting the background colour in, and then I'll add some some warmer colour towards the centre of the leaf to just to give it a bit of depth. There it is, and just sort of blend the two together. just going over it with a hairdryer just to dry out paint so that when between each one I don't smudge the previous one while I'm working round. There we have it. All the leaves are coloured in, and then I'll be moving on to the next stage. There's some really nice figure in that wood. Right, we're not at the dentist now. We're still in the workshop, and I've got the Dremel out with a wood cutting bit. I'm going to cut down to the leaves and leave a nice interesting shape on the top, hopefully. This Dremel wasn't cutting great. I couldn't really get much detail on it, but yeah, it was doing the job. Just a case of going all the way around and trying to get into those little nooks and crannies. I did change the bit to one with a point on it, because this one wouldn't go into the more awkward places, but I got there in the end. There we are, last few little bits to get into. And then, yes, thought I'd give you a little look. Ivy sat next to me, as good as gold. That doesn't happen very often. And you can hear the rain on the roof of the workshop. Let's finish off that last little bit. Right, I've got the blowtorch now. I thought it'd look quite nice if I could burn the top edge and perhaps inside the bowl. And it looks dangerous there. It looks as though I'm about to burn my fingers, but it's not actually as bad as it looks. Yeah, I do actually try to burn inside the bowl, but the flame wouldn't work inside the bowl. I guess it's a lack of oxygen thing. So what I did was I got some black lacquer and sprayed inside with that, and it actually worked out very well. And I think the black inside contrasts nicely with the colours on the outside. And then I use some acrylic satin lacquer to spray around the outside. I like the satin. I don't like them too shiny. I like more of a natural look. And I think it worked quite nicely with this one. Just give it a spray and turn it, and I think I gave it about 3 or 4 coats, and it left a really nice finish. Oh, here I am.
So we're all done, and here we have it. I'm quite pleased with it. The wood on the vase turned out much nicer than I thought it was going to be. And the leaves and the colours and everything, I think, just go nicely. And then the cutting the shapes out wasn't easy because the cutters that I'm using, they just weren't working very well, but I managed to get it done. And then I did a bit of burning around the top. I couldn't burn the inside because of the I think it's the oxygen or lack of when you're burning inside a contained area. It just didn't work, so I finished up spraying it inside, but that worked out fine anyway. And I think the black inside just kind of worked with the sort of autumnal colours. It's nice and thin. You can hear that. It's about 4mm, 3mm, 4mm thick. Nice and light, and yeah, overall very pleased. It's got lacquer on the outside, but not a high gloss. It's just a satin look. I'll put some pictures up at the end. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe as well. Yeah, if you could leave a comment as well, I always enjoy that, so that'd be great. So from here, in a mixed weather Cornwall, overnight we've had some heavy rain and a bit windy as well, but there's been a bit of sunshine out this morning as well.
So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.